And also tonight here in the Midlands, community members are mourning the loss of civil rights pioneer and activist James Solomon Jr. We're told Solomon died Friday. He was 94 years old. According to USC, he was one of 3 students who desegregated USC back in September, I should say, of 1963. Chris English gives us a closer look into his life.
It's not every day that someone has their likeness immortalized in bronze at the University of South Carolina. But in April of this year, that's exactly what happened to James Solomon Jr. as he and 2 other former students, Henry Monteith Treadwell and Robert Anderson, were honored for their role in desegregating the university. USC briefly desegregated following the Civil War, but by 1880 the school had closed and reopened as an all-white institution. It would be more than 80 years before Solomon and his fellow students made history in 1963, becoming the first black students at USC since Reconstruction. Activist and former legislator Jim Felder reflects on Solomon's impact at USC.
It was very important. Remember, 63 was a tough year. We had the assassinations, Kennedy, Medgar Evers, and then, of course, Clemson was the first to integrate, and USC integrated in September. But it was great for him to break the ice over at USC so that those doors would be open, because they were closed to us through the years.
Before enrolling at USC, Solomon attended Morris College, earning a degree in chemistry before serving on the school's faculty from 1960 until 1973, including 3 years as an administrator. After his time as a graduate student in the mathematics department at South Carolina, Solomon continued to serve his fellow citizens. Dedicated to education, Solomon served as a member of the Sumter District 17 School Board and chairman of the Richland 1 School District.
He touched a lot of lives at the educational level, at the church level, and all around. So when one gives that much of himself, it becomes a legacy, and you cannot forget him.
Solomon was involved in various community groups, including United Way, the Urban League, and the Palmetto Development Group. Columbia Urban League president and CEO James McLawhorn remembers Solomon fondly.
When I think of Dr. Solomon, I think of him as a humanitarian, someone who was really deeply concerned about the welfare of others. So his humanitarian efforts parallel what our mission was at the Urban League.
Later in his career, he held several positions in state government, culminating as the state director of the Department of Social Services from 1984 until 1992. For all of his efforts, Solomon was a 2-time recipient of the Order of the Palmetto, the state's highest honor. James Solomon Jr., a lifelong champion of equal rights, education, and family, died Friday at the age of 94. But his legacy will live on each time students pass by the statue bearing his likeness. Chris English, News 19, WLTX.
And if you would like to see that statue dedicated to these 3 students, including James Solomon Jr., it's outside of the McKissick Museum at USC's campus.